Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. You know, when your region is the only one that hosts MapleStory esports, then you know that the class you can only play in this server and the Chinese server is going to be a good one. Today we're checking out the Mo Xuan class in MapleStory. At least I think that's how you pronounce it, Mo Xuan. I'm not entirely sure, my Chinese isn't exactly on point, so excuse me if I butcher this name for the rest of this video. This class is only released in MapleStory Taiwan and MapleStory China, and there is currently no schedule known if this class will ever make it out of those regions, at least for now. Also, major thanks to Historycanon for helping me get access to this server, and many thanks as well to all the very kind maplers over at TMS who helped me with gear and EXP buffs so I could level up faster. You're all amazing. Mo Xuan is a pirate class that uses Dex, basically the TMS version of Jet. However, unlike the old Zen class, this class is not a reskin of Jet, but is its own unique class with unique mechanics, and those work well. This class is also stuck in a tutorial questline all the way until level 30, but since we're burning, we're going to be slightly over leveled. First job is not that special yet. We unlock new skills as we complete the questline and progress through the story. I really like the animation on the double jump though. In the second job we learn more attacks, but this class is just starting out, nothing too special to be honest. But then we get to third job. In this class advancement we get a ton of mobility skills. This class has multiple dashes, similar to the 5th job bug skills, a backdash similar to Shade, and it can dash downwards while dealing damage. It's like Bug, Shade and Adele all in one. You also unlock your emblem at the right. It looks like a gauge, but it's not really a gauge, but this is also where the fun begins. Leveling this class will seem daunting with a ton of skills and mechanics, but actually it's super easy and super fun in my opinion. I think it's best explained if we look at the full package when we get to 5th job. Mo Xuan only has one main attacking skill that you learn in 1st job. This skill will get improvements as you level up with every job advancement. Every time you use your main attack repeatedly, you unleash a different attack. Unless, if there is too much time in between them, then they reset. The main attack has 4 different stages, as shown by the emblem at the right side of the screen, kinda similar to how Pathfinder and Kane sorta work. Then each stage, 1, 2, 3 and 4, has a different animation that can be linked with different skills. Which skill can be linked is shown below the emblem. However, to make things easier, there are special god macros that can be used only by this class. You can assign up to 4 stages of one skill to one macro. When you then use this macro, you don't have to cycle through the skills with like a normal one. Instead, when you press the macro button, it will automatically use the attack that can be linked to your main attack. So basically, you're using 2 buttons for up to like 8 different attacks. Which makes this class super fun, as it also some attacks different properties. For example, the spinning kick can be tapped multiple times with some time in between to unleash additional attacks. And the skill that can be linked after the 3rd attack can be held down for a flurry of attacks. The skill after the 4th step attack can be used with the down arrow to fall through platforms, you know, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of flexibility in there. So yeah, this class is super flexible and you can set up multiple macros to your liking. Maybe it's because I cannot read Chinese, but it felt like I was always discovering new things when playing this class, which made it really fun. The damage on this class was pretty decent as well. Being a class not yet released in MapleStory Korea, it is always the question when it's getting attention, similar to Hayato, Jet, Beastamer and Kana. You know, the devs don't really assign a lot of resources to these classes. But this class did get some improvements with the Destiny update, and it did not feel underpowered ever. I was burning though, and to be fair, the TMS Maplers did help me out a ton there. They're very friendly people over there. Mo Xuan does feel like he has it all. Damage, crazy mobility, a challenging but fun playstyle that can be simple if you want to, and it has its own bind and invincibility frames. The Legion effect of this class increases critical damage, and the Link skill increases boss damage. And just look at how fast we're clearing this map. All the skills flow really well together. So grinding with this class was a piece of cake and super fun. Plus I personally just really like the aesthetics of this class. It's a bit minimalistic with the black and white, but more ink themed, which works very well. When you're bossing, there also are plenty of attacks and combinations to work with, and I think I even bound the boss twice there. Mo Xuan also has a short cooldown shielding skill, by the way, you know, just to add that to the mix as well. But as you might have noticed, this class does step forward every time you use a skill. This actually is a toggle that I was using when I was fighting Magnus, but you can turn this off, which will make bossing a lot better, so you don't go running yourself into the boss monster. The gauge on the right also has 5 circles, by the way. Those have to be filled up to use your level 160 hyper skill that explodes the entire screen. This is also your invincibility frame. You can unlock this mechanic with your 4th job. In 5th job things get even more spicy. There is for example a new skill that can be linked to your 4th step attack. This is a key down skill. After charging you unleash a powerful attack that leaves behind a cloud of smoke that continuously deals damage. It looks a bit like blaster skills. Then there's your standard burst skill, and this class can supercharge itself to deal more damage. Your skills really seem to be useful both for grinding and bossing. Bossing is a blast with how easy you can string your attacks together. Also, with the additional movement turned off, bossing goes pretty well. I do wonder though if the additional character model animations might be tricky if you're fighting bosses where very precise movement is needed. But I gotta say, this was the most fun I had leveling a class in a while. Thanks again to all the TMS players who helped me out, and thanks to Suthikeeree for helping me with the account. So, would you like to see Mo Xuan released in the other regions? Let me know in the comments, so I then can collect those and send those over to Nixon for feedback. Both for MapleSea and Global, that's fine though. Let me know if you like this class. But we're not done yet though. Mo Xuan is awesome, but I also want to share some other region exclusive stuff that MapleStory Taiwan has that I thought was pretty interesting. Like for example, look at those crazy daily login rewards. There is a ton of cosmetic stuff in there, and the final reward is pretty crazy. Log in for 28 days to either get a 100% legendary scroll or a 17-star scroll. With the downside that this item does make your item untradeable, but that's pretty generous given this is the regular server. Also there are EXP node stones, there's free symbols, they're all pretty powerful. Also, you can use Maple points to Star Force instead of Mesos. That's pretty interesting. Some might say that might even be a little bit pay to win. TMS is kind of interesting. It feels a lot more pay to win, but it's also more accessible in a way. If you do want to spend money at least, you don't have to spend crazy amount of dollars to get stuff like a Breath of Divinity ring or to get a Frenzy Totem. In TMS, the free pet that you get also has auto pot, auto all cures, auto skills, all from the get-go, and it has a giant skill as well. This skill is freaking massive, dude. And monster cards found from monsters are always random, which I thought was pretty interesting. It could be any monster cards on reveal. And this region also has a housing feature already, which we're getting as well next week. You can collect furniture and start decorating your own house. You can even get some powerful buffs from this content. Thankfully, next week we can also finally look forward to owning a house, in MapleStory that is. That's all I wanted to share for today in the TMS server. Hope you enjoyed Mo Xuan, and I do hope we get this class one day as well. It is super fun to play. And as always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Thanks to Niels the Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian, Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Anwar NHI, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Froggy, Vira, Trevor, Michael Manchaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, ceemak, Striker Elk, Tidal1Pan, Victor Sunstrom, Radical Jaws, Ricer RU, Gummy Bullet, Lovebird, Certito655, Mathias Simonsson, Mr. Nar, Colando Belavia, my name is Coppersan and I'm super cute XOXO, PC Game Life, Dante Victory, Stanislaus Xumo Begus, Swap2Bish, Road to level 235, Turkistan !reboot, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, I'm Disappointed, Lucky Beats, Gable Eck, Pedro Benetti, Conrad Castales, Ace Light, Ben Wolf, Max Bernhardt, Doc on a Tokabox, Muka 1017, BMB King, Scotty Flies Fast, Priscilla, Brandon Cam, Shake1, Vague Botnet, Feco, and Gianfranco Calderon Canavero. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling!